Test. Test. Can you hear me now? Can you hear me now? Good.
This is the Wellspan Urgent Orthopedics Friday Night Rivals.
Across the Susquehanna River at George R. Saxton Jr. Memorial Stadium, it is Week 7 in the Mid-Penn Colonial, a key game between the 5-1 Susquehanna Township Indians and the 4-2 East Pennsboro Panthers. Both of these teams just a game behind first-place Trinity in the Colonial standings. It's Wellspan Urgent's Orthopedics Friday Night Rivals. Hi, everybody. Great to see you. I'm Phil Shinner alongside Chris Thompson. And Chris, we are in for a treat tonight because everyone likes speed. Our spotlight player for Susquehanna Township is Mr. Speed, Lex Cyrus.
Yeah, he's the state champion in the 100-meter dash. He's electric. He's both sides of the ball type player, wide receiver and defensive back. Really looking forward to him and his explosive plays tonight.
Well, by the way, a South Carolina commit. And then East Pennsboro, they go the way J.J. Gossard goes. This offense goes the way J.J. pushes it, and in defense, he's a great linebacker as well.
Yeah, he's, again, two-way player. He's got 308 yards rushing with 5 touchdowns, 31 tackles, and 2 sacks, and an interception on the season.
Keys to the game brought to you by Meineke Car Care Center.
Obviously, for Susquehanna Township, they got to win on special teams. That's always a big – that's 3 phases of the game, and that's a big one. And then, obviously, forced turnovers.
East Pennsboro?
They don't give up the big play. Obviously, Lex Cyrus can do that. And obviously control the football throughout the game.
Well, East Pennsboro Panthers on a 4-game win streak. They know they need to keep things rolling to have a shot at winning the Colonial League Championship again. It's Susquehanna Township and East Pennsboro coming up next on the Wellspan Urgent Orthopedics Friday Night Rivals on MyTV Central PA. Big game tonight in the Mid-Penn Colonial at Susquehanna Township and East Pennsboro. Both these teams trail Trinity, who's atop the Colonial League at 4-0 in league play and 5-1 overall. East Pennsboro 4-2. They started the season with 2 straight losses, lost to Bethlehem Catholic and at Trinity, but they are on a 4-game win streak. They beat Milton Hershey, Greencastle, Boiling Springs, and last week, probably their biggest win of the season at West Perry. Tough to win there. They won 35-14. For Susquehanna Township, they won their first 3 games of the season, then lost to West Perry 31-14. So there's 2 teams that you can compare scores with. And then they beat Steel High, and last week they beat Middletown 21-14. Time now for our OSS Health High Quality Orthopedic Care Injury List Report, and it's Marcel Reed for East Pennsboro The 5'10", 170-pound senior had an interception to end the game last week and then hurt his shoulder, so he will be out tonight. He will be missed in the secondary for East Pennsboro. There is our OSS Health Injury Reserve List report before we get underway. Temperature about 68 degrees. Clouds have gone away. We should be a rain-free night tonight for this one. Time to get it going. The Good Feet Store opening kickoff. Susquehanna Township and East Pennsboro. And a short kick, fair caught. And that's where East Pennsboro will have the football. Let's take a look at their starters, brought to you by Focal Point Remodeling. And they are led by their junior quarterback, who's almost perfect on the year. He's 36 of 46, and Tanner Barla. And he has some dangerous playmakers to get the ball to with Angelo and Everett and Gossert. And that offensive line, the biggest area of improvement. According to their coach this year, they have really improved. They struggled a little bit the first 2 weeks, but they have gotten better each and every week. So let's take a look at the junior quarterback, who's completing more than 70% of his passes. Most of his passes of the short range to Gossard and Angelo, who have a lot of run after catch. Going downfield this time and looking for Everett, who goes high for it, and the pass is incomplete. Let's take a look at the starting defense for Susquehanna Township, brought to you by Focal Point Remodeling. Number 45, Kasim Singleton Brown, has 96 tackles this year, 2 forced fumbles. Last week he had 17 tackles at the linebacker spot. Martin's very good at the linebacker spot as well. They get a lot of pressure from their defensive ends, Mack and Riley. Their secondary had 2 interceptions last week in the win over Middletown. So now a 2nd and 10 after the incomplete pass by Barlop. And handoff up the middle. Gossard gets maybe 1 or 2 yards, and he is tackled by Neghetti. Neghetti makes the tackle, his 46th tackle of the season for the junior linebacker. So 1-yard pickup, 3rd and 9 coming up for East Pennsboro. Again, last week, a 35-14 win at West Perry, a tough place to get a win. West Perry, they haven't lost at home in about 3 or 4 years. So that was a big win for East Penn and Coach Denniston last week. So a passing situation for Barlup, but he hands the football off to Gossert. Gossert running across the 40 and falls down at the 44-yard line around the left side. And has the first down. Neghetti made the stop again for his 2nd stop of the game.
Yeah, nice little off tackle here with the sweep, and you saw J.J. Gossert's speed there into the open field and able to get the first down. That was a great job.
And there is Coach Dennison in his 5th season, 25-20 at East Pennsboro. Coach of the year last year in the Colonial Division. Won the Colonial last year, did East Penn. They had a big win over Susquehanna Township. And Coach Heaton, when I talked to him, he said, we kind of let that division championship slip out of our hands with that loss to the Panthers last year. Gossard gets the call again, straight up the middle, pushes the pile a little bit, maybe a yard or 2. Gossard came into this game 71 carries, 308 yards, 5 rushing touchdowns. He also has a rushing or receiving touchdown. And there's Joe Heaton. He took over at Susquehanna Township for 2001, played at Bishop McDevitt and at Bloomsburg University. He's been at Susquehanna Township since 2001, one of the deans of the Mid-Penn coaching ranks. A good conversation with Coach Dennison and Coach Heaton. We'll talk a little bit more about the conversation we had with them and some of the stories about their players throughout the night. So we're just underway, 2nd and 8, 10:22, the clock runs first quarter, and they give the ball around the side, looking for some speed. Aaron Angelo's first carry, and that is a 1-800-JUNK first down. Brown made the stop, but not after Angelo picked up 13 yards for a first down.
You're going to see a nice, again, sweep action here. Again, great speed by number 12, Angelo, getting the first down. I love what East Pennsboro is doing with some of their motions and things here, and shifting and movements before the snap of the football.
So a first down is now the Panthers in Indians territory at the 45-yard line. Again, East Penn on a 4-game win streak. They want to keep things rolling. They would love to win the Colonial League Championship again. Of course, they had a lot of players graduate a season ago. It's kind of amazing what they're doing. And that's speed with Everett. Everett still on his feet and finally gets knocked out of bounds shy of the 20-yard line. And a big run, a big gain for Everett. Burnett knocked him out of bounds, a 1-800-junk first down.
Again, you know, I love what East Pennsboro is doing right now, and they're outside. Susquehanna Township's not getting contained on the ends, and you've seen East Pennsboro utilizing their speed and athleticism on the outside.
Great story with Everett. He did not play his sophomore and junior season because he concentrated on basketball. He's a 1,000-point scorer, got it last year in his junior year. Played football his freshman year, but came out here in his senior year having a big year. And that is Brune with the carry, running off the right side for a couple of yards. Brune with only his 11th carry of the season. And stop after that. So East Pennsboro having a lot of success, Chris, moving this football.
Yeah, and they're doing it, you know, on the ground and to the outside, which was surprising. But I love their plan. You know, Susquehanna Township's kind of loading the box a little bit in the middle, and East Pennsboro is going to the outside right now.
2nd and 8 from the 21 as Barlup is in the gun. Quick pass and has the completion to Angelo, and Burnett there for the stop after getting that ball out quick. And that's one thing they want with Burlop. The coaches says they put him in good positions. He didn't start until the 3rd game, and since then he's been almost perfect. He was 10 for 10 against Milton Hershey in his first start, 200 yards and 2 touchdowns.
That's awesome. Well, and that's the thing, high percentage type throws, and that's what you're seeing right now. You know, these short to intermediate quick screens, slants, hitches, things like that, and that's what you're seeing. And that's just being smart and keeping the young quarterback, you know, honed in on what he's doing.
Inside the Keystone Fireplace red zone with a 3rd down, and we'll step aside. A big 3rd down coming up for the Panthers as they are driving here on their opening drive on Friday Night Rivals. A little bit of fog setting in here tonight at George R. Saxton Jr. Memorial Stadium. Good crowd on hand. It's homecoming. And there is Aaron Angelo, who limped off, retaped his left ankle, and should be ready to go. So big 3rd down here for the Panthers without Angelo on the field. And they send a man in motion, and straight up the middle goes Gossard. J.J. Gossard straight ahead. And he has enough for the 1st down. So Gossard, he can certainly has that power. We talked about him as the spotlight player, and Negeti made another stop for the Indians.
Yeah, I love what East Pennsboro is doing right now with their motions and the little bit of eye candy that they're doing in the backfield. You know, Susquehanna Township's linebackers and secondary, they gotta keep an eye on that, because they know that they've tried to hit them on the outside, and then they fake the jet sweep and run it right up the gut and get enough for the 1st down.
This is play number 10 of the drive, and 5 different players have touched the ball in this opening drive for East Pennsboro. So a 1st and 10 for them. And Angelo around the right side, so that tape job is obviously holding up. Inside the 10-yard line, he's knocked out at the 9 after a good run by Aaron Angelo. Picks up a couple of yards, and the drive continues here for East Pennsboro, looking to put the first points on the board.
Yeah, it's a great job by their perimeter blocking there. number 10 and number 4 for East Pennsboro, Keys and Gossard. It's a great opening drive, taking some time off the clock, keeping Susquehanna Township's offense off the field. They're doing a great job with this.
So second down for East Pennsboro, looking to see if they can cash in on this long opening drive. Ball control has certainly been a factor for them. J.J. Gossard makes a move inside, gets towards the end zone. Down to the 1 he goes. So J.J. Gossard finally stopped by Brown. Brown was able to stop him at the 1 yard line, but East Penn is set up with a 1st and goal from the 1.
Nice little GH counter there. I love it. Little GY counter, and Gossard hit it right up the middle.
Gossard is definitely, as Coach Dennison calls him, the bedrock of what we do offensively. J.J. Gossard, the 5'8", 180-pound senior. See if they give it back to him to see if they can punch it into the end zone. He has a big blocker in front of him. 1st and goal from the 1 for the Panthers. Looking to get on the board first tonight. They give it to Gossard, and he's in for the touchdown. J.J. Gossard with his 6th rushing touchdown of the season, and East Pennsboro's on the board first. You'll take another look with our Faulkner Honda touchdown.
Again, a little power off tackle and just lowered the shoulder and got into the end zone. What a great drive East Pennsboro put together there. Very patient, a lot of poise by their quarterback and utilizing the clock, and again keeping their offense off the field. Great opening drive.
Galati on for the extra point for East Pennsboro, and it was a heck of a drive where they were able to go 12 plays, 65 yards, and 443. That's the way to open a football game on homecoming. And the extra point is up, and it is good. And East Pennsboro, J.J. Gossard, with his 6 rushing touchdowns, has his Panthers up 7-0. Our spotlight player, J.J. Gossard, gets the Panthers on the board with his 6th rushing touchdown of the season. 7 carries, 22 yards in the opening drive, and a 1-yard plunge. A 7-0 lead for East Pennsboro. They will kick the ball to the Susquehanna Township, our Good Feet store kickoff, and they're going to kick it short. They do not want number 8, Lex Cyrus, anywhere near the football. Let's take a look at our scoring summary. The opening drive took 4:43 off the clock. Our remarkable home buyers scoring drive. J.J. Gossard, the 1-yard touchdown. It was a 12-play, 64-yard drive, and it's 7-0 for the defending Colonial League Mid-Penn champs. They won the division last year. Would love to do it this year. So many players were gone from graduation. Let's take. The Panthers finished with 20 selections to the Colonial Division All-Star squad, but then a lot of them graduated a season ago and only a couple players back, but they're on a 4-game win streak, trying to make it 5 in a row. Now we have Susquehanna Township's first opportunity on offense, and we'll take a look at the starters, brought to you by Focal Point Remodeling starting lineups, and they are led by their junior quarterback, Torrin Evans, who has close to 1,600 yards passing this season and 17 touchdowns and only 1 interception for the lefty. And of course, you know about the wide receivers, Lex Cyrus, Jarrett Kern, Brown, Leaks, all outstanding playmakers for Susquehanna Township Indians. And they're going to keep it on the ground. One thing that East Pennsboro talked about defensively, they wanted to try to stop the run. Cervell with the run. Potts made the stop. Potts' 39th stop of the season for this East Penn defense. And let's take a look at the East Penn starting defense, brought to you by Focal Point Remodeling. Potts has 38 tackles from his linebacker spot. Gossard and Angelo with a ton of tackles as well. Also, Colton Keys, the sophomore, has 39 tackles and has played really big this year for this East Penn defense. So now a 1st and 10 after the first down run, and Evans throws for the first time and has the completion to Brown. Brown's 12th catch of the season. And that gets him up to the 45-yard line. Evans to Brown completion. So they got the ball at the 46-yard line. We'll see if the Indians can match East Pennsboro's drive. The Indians last week, they were in a tough game with Middletown. They won that game by a touchdown, 21-14. Coach Heaton said that the Middletown team's very well coached. He knew his team was going to be in for a dogfight, and he knows tonight is going to be a dogfight with the defending champs in the division, Panthers. That is Rivera. Rivera gets his 44th carry of the season. He has 309 yards, averaging about 7.2 a carry and 3 touchdowns for Xavier Rivera. So Rivera gets the first down. The 1-800-GOT-JUNK first down right at midfield. The Indians moving the football down 7-0. 5:50 to go first quarter. There's a good look at Torrin Evans. Development is great from a year ago. That's Rivera. Makes a man miss tackle, and he has enough for the first down. Picks up 11 yards on the run for Rivera, the 5'9", 160-pound junior.
Great patience here by the running back. Little inside zone, bounces it outside, and picks up another first down. I love what Susquehanna Township's doing, answering with the run game too.
One thing that Coach Heaton said about his 2 backs, Rivera and Cervell, is that they both do a great job in pass protection. That this season they have done a great job protecting Evans when called upon to be blockers. Evans throws it out, and they get it to Lex Cyrus, his first touch of the game, and that is Lex's 32nd catch of the season. Angelo was there to knock him out of bounds, but it's another first down for the Indians as they are moving it here on their opening possession.
Yeah, they're trying to keep him everything in front, but then you see some of his speed and electricity, how he can catch a quick screen like that and get 12 yards or so in the first down.
One of the fastest men in the state, won the 100-meter. State champion runner in the state of Pennsylvania. Week 1, he had a kickoff return for a score. The long tradition of Susquehanna Township special teams returning a kickoff for a score continues to let yet another year. Rivera with the handoff straight up the middle. This is an offensive line that's still a work in progress, but they're led by their center, Mason Lubold, the big center. Newman made the stop.
Oh, yeah. Didn't look like he was down, but I think they blew the whistle.
So a second down coming up for Township. There's a timeout on the field. Referee's timeout on the field. Coming up next week, we'll be back in the Mid-Penn Commonwealth. Central Dauphin Rams, 2-4 this season, taking on the Bishop McDevitt Crusaders, who are 5-1. They've won 4 straight since the Week 2 loss on Friday Night Rivals on that Saturday afternoon special when they lost to Harrisburg in overtime. Tonight, the Crusaders are at Cumberland Valley, and the Rams tonight are at undefeated Central Dauphin East. So next week, it's Central Dauphin Rams against the Bishop McDevitt Crusaders, who will be at Rocco Hortensio Stadium next week in week number 8 of the high school football season.
Can't believe it. Can't believe it's week 8 already.
Teams thinking playoffs, trying to win their division championships, including this one here tonight. This game could go a long way in determining who wins the Colonial League championship. Susquehanna Township, it's been a long while since they won a division championship, something they haven't done since 2015. They would love to win a division title. Seville, and it's a keeper by Evans. What a play action by Evans. And he was drugged from behind by Keys, and a penalty marker comes out. Colton Keys, the sophomore, made the tackle, but I think they're going to get him for a penalty. Yeah, horse collar
tackle.
What a fake, though, by Evans.
Yes, great job. Again, the ball control, you know, the hand fake there, the mesh point. Love it.
It's funny you bring up ball control. That's one thing that Coach Heaton said that was one thing that Evans really worked on in the offseason, and feels his ball control is a lot better than it was last year at this time when he was a sophomore to now as a junior.
And you know, I'm sure some of that is obviously maturity. You know, he's got a year under his belt. You know, they went into the playoffs last year and played in some big games, and that also pays dividends.
Coach Dennison getting some words from the official. Now, Coach Dennison replaced Todd Studer, who was in 2020, right before the COVID hit. Studer was the head coach here at East Pennsboro for 22 seasons.
Now I know the horse collar in the pros and college.
Play, we had an inadvertent whistle. We also had a personal foul, horse collar tackle. The horse collar tackle trumps the inadvertent whistle or administer the foul with a 2-second down.
Yep, that's what I thought. It's all about safety, trying to keep kids safe, especially the quarterback position, and they're going to call that horse collar every time.
So after the penalty, of course, now the Indians still working inside the Keystone Fireplace red zone, and they get the completion to Brown. Brown is down to about the 2-yard line. Keys was the one that stopped him from getting into the end zone, but Brown has 2 catches, now 13 on the season for the senior.
Again, mixing in the run with their quick screens. I love what Susquehanna Township's doing and answering the bell here on this ensuing drive.
East Pennsboro took the opening drive, 12 plays, 64 yards to the Gossard 1-yard touchdown. They give the ball to Riley, the big man, trying to get into the end zone. Good second effort, and Riley is in. Last week he had a 1-yard touchdown, and here's his second touchdown of the season. The big man at 5'10", 260 pounds, into the end zone.
How ironic is that? Gossard is the one who went through him to score the touchdown, and now he returns the favor here.
10-play drive for the Indians to match the East Pennsboro touchdown.
Love it.
Riley had a 1-yard touchdown last week in their win over Middletown, and back-to-back weeks has a rushing touchdown for the Indians. Aaron Ramsey on for the extra point. The kick is up, and the kick is good. It's a 7-7 game. We knew this one was going to be back and forth. Two of the top teams in the Colonial. Coming up tomorrow, college football on CBS 21 starts at noon. Navy and Air Force, the hunt for the Commander-in-Chief Trophy, the first leg of that. Air Force has won 4 times, the last 4 times they've played Navy. And then in the afternoon, Big Ten football, Ohio State dominated the series with Iowa winning 13 of the last 15 meetings with Iowa. And then the NFL on Sunday, it's the Ravens and Bengals and the Packers and the Rams. Derrick Henry coming off a big win over the Bills. The Packers, Jordan Love looked pretty good in the second half of that game last week against Minnesota. A little too late, though. See if the Packers can get their 3rd win of the season. It all starts at noon with the NFL Today on CBS 21. So you're all set for college and NFL this weekend. And we have a 7-7 game with 4:12 to go first quarter. These 2 Colonial League teams battling it back and forth. East Pennsboro riding a 4-game win streak after dropping their first 2 games of the season. And Susquehanna Township 5-1 on the season. Here's another Good Feet Store kickoff. And they kick it rather short. And just a 5-yard return up to the 25-yard line. And it's time for our scoring summary. Brought to you by Remarkable Home Buyers. A 10-play, 72-yard drive. Took 3:04 off the clock. It was the big man, Riley, rumbling in from 1 yard. The Remarkable Home Buyers scoring summary. We're tied at 7-7. here on Wellspan Urgent Orthopedics Friday Night Rivals. Face mask penalty coming on the special teams play. Special teams is one of our keys, Chris, and as you see, both teams are kicking it short. They don't want any kind of long
Personal
returns.
fouls, face mask, kicking team, first down.
Well, it makes sense for East Pennsboro, to keep it away from Lex Cyrus and do the squib kick. And I'm sure Susquehanna Township obviously is worried too, and trying to, pooch kick it here on the side and not get them, give up the big play.
So it'll be a 15-yard penalty marked off, and that'll help East Pennsboro out to start their second offensive drive. Their first offensive drive, very successful, 12 plays, 64 yards. It ended in the Gossert touchdown. But Susquehanna Township took advantage and came right back with their offensive drive to match the score, tie things up 7-7. Pitch. Brune handles the pitch and loses a yard. Mathis made the stop.
It was a great play by Mathis. Because, East Pennsboro, again, shifting a couple guys. Susquehanna Township is moving with them. And they tried to hit the pitch out the back, and Mathis makes a great play.
Lost 1 yard, so a 2nd and 11 coming up now for East Pennsboro. Barlup last week, 8 of 9 for 201 yards and 2 touchdowns in their big win over West Perry. Again, passing percentage of over 70%. That's Everett running. Gets across the 40 down to the 41-yard line. And that's as far as Everett would go. Valetti made the stop.
Looks like Susquehanna Township has made some adjustments defensively, because you're seeing East Pennsboro trying to, like they did in the first drive, take advantage of some things on the perimeter, on the outside, and Susquehanna Township is there to 2 back-to-back plays to make the stop.
This is an Indians defense. Has given up 118 points coming in, 19.6 per game average for them. And coach said that they're getting better every week. He said he hopes that they get a little better as the season goes on stopping the run, and that's a key for them tonight defensively. And here's a run play. Straight ahead up to the 44-yard line, just short of the 45 is Brune on the run. And Brune is stopped by Neghetti. Neghetti, 4th tackle of the game tonight. The linebacker has been very busy. He has 49 tackles now in the season. As Josh Neghetti, who's an interesting story. As a sophomore, he has played at quarterback. And then, of course, then they moved him to safety, and now he's found a home at linebacker. It's been pretty good.
Yeah.
Brune is the injured player there on the sideline, being taken care of on the East Penn sideline. And a punting situation here. Angelo does the punting. Gets a very good punt off that bounces inside the 5 and gets down to the inch line. And they touched it down there. Wow, what a punt by Angelo. And a good job by East Pennsboro to get there to touch that down before it got to the goal line.
That was an outstanding punt. Outstanding punt by Angelo. Look at the way this ball just like stops right before the goal line.
Now, Angelo rushed for 800 yards as a sophomore, then had a surgery and missed last year, labrum surgery, and missed last year. So he is coming back after missing his junior year. Was very successful as a sophomore and has been pretty good this season. And coach talks about the fact that he has a very strong leg and calls Aaron Angelo the most athletic player on his team.
Yeah, you can see it. No doubt about it. We could see it here in the first quarter from him.
So 1st and 10 from the inch line, and Township's going to try to draw them off sides to give them a little more room, and it worked. The cadence by Evans.
Defense, first down.
So that gives them a little more breathing room instead of being on the inch line. Takes them out and it keeps it a little safer with that. And there's Elijah Harris was called for that penalty. So 1st and 5 now for the Indians. Evans from the gun after getting some room and having East Pennsboro jump. Quick hitter has the completion. And that is Jarrett Kern with the catch. That's his 25th catch of the season. Vasilakis on the tackle, but it's enough for a 1-800 junk. Got first down. So Garrett Kern gets his 25th catch of the season. He has 6 touchdowns. Last week he had 4 catches for 44 yards. He's really worked hard on route running from last year as a sophomore to now as a junior. So 1st and 10 for the Indians, their second possession offensively. Lex Cyrus gets his second catch of the game. Makes a man miss and gets across the 25-yard line. And that'll be another first down for the Indians. How do you play Cyrus when you know he has the speed? If you're that defensive back, are you giving him, how much cushion are you giving him?
That's the thing, and that's what you're seeing right now is them, playing a lot of soft cushion here and keeping everything in front of them right now and giving up those quick hitches and quick screens. I wonder if East Pennsboro will change here at any time during the game too.
So a 1st and 10 after the Cyrus catch. Evans is going to keep it himself, trying to run to the outside, makes a man miss. Evans has 15 yards on the run across the 40 down to the 41-yard line. Pretty good run there by Evans. This year he has 104 yards rushing and 2 touchdowns. The lefty gets loose.
Yeah, great job showing his elusiveness. Being patient. He didn't force the football. He didn't like it. Took off and ran and got more than enough for the first down.
Gossard made the stop after Evans's 15-yard run to move the chains. The Indians offensively 208 points this season. They're averaging 34.6 a game, so they got the offense clicking. Last week they only scored 21, but most of the time this year they were scoring in the upper 20s, low 30s. Rivera straight ahead, gets a yard, and that's it. Newman was the one that made the stop. Newman has now 11 tackles on the season. Of course, he played very well the first 3 games of the season last year and then had in week 3 an ACL injury and was done for the rest of the season. So he's just coming back from an ACL injury and is having a pretty nice season. Here's Logan Newman. There's a look at Rivera, the running back on the sidelines for Hannah. 10 seconds left here in our first quarter. A 7-7 game. Crucial game in the Mid-Penn Colonial tonight, and we are through the first quarter of the Wellspan Urgent Orthopedics Friday Night Rivals. A 7-7 game with Township and East Pennsboro.
Will be a loss of 1 point early in the third quarter.
Second quarter, Friday Night Rivals tie game 7-7. Susquehanna Township 101 yards of total offense, 68 yards of total offense for East Pennsboro. Lex Cyrus gets the ball and gets maybe 2 yards on that play for the Indians. They want to find creative ways anyway to get the ball to the fastest man in the state, Lex Cyrus.
I would too. I mean, that's a weapon. It's a weapon, you know, any way you throw it to him, where you hand it off to him, or you throw a quick pass, you know, jet sweep there like you just did right there, and all ways you can to get that man the ball.
Lex Cyrus, the South Carolina commit, the SEC. You got to have speed if you want to play in the SEC. He certainly does. Last week he had 8 catches, 112 yards, and a touchdown in the win over Middletown. Coach Heaton said we were glad to have Lex Cyrus last week in that dogfight. Incomplete pass, was looking to get it to Leaks. Angelo was there for the breakup. Great play by Aaron Angelo.
Yeah, he does a really nice job here. You'll see, gets his one hand in and bats it down. What a great play by Aaron Angelo.
So a 4th down now for the Indians. Evans, before that incompletion, was 5 for 5 for 41 yards. Rivera 4 carries, 22 yards. Cyrus has 2 catches for 23 yards. The offensive numbers for the Indians. 4th down for them. Ramsey punting. Ball takes a bounce. And a penalty marker's down as the ball rolls inside the 20 down to the 16-yard line. We'll have to wait for the flag here as we just started the second quarter. Both teams scored on their opening possessions, and then on their second possessions, both teams punted.
Sideline warning,
So
East Pennsboro.
Sideline warning on the Panthers.
Makes sense, because it was the sideline judge who threw it.
Time for Valley Pediatric Dentistry and Orthopedics Smile Cam with the Tooth Fairy. We got these shots before the game tonight. Looking for some great smiles. Good to have the Tooth Fairy Smile Cam, brought to you by Valley Pediatrics Dentistry and Orthodontics. They are looking for new pediatric patients, so give them a call. 7-7 game, second quarter, 10:57. East Pennsboro with their 3rd drive of the game. J.J. Gossard, who has the 1 touchdown tonight, gets the first carry. Mack was the one that made the stop. Mack's 37th tackle of the season for the Indians after the gain by Gossard. 6-yard pickup.
Yeah, he's a really nice, hard downhill runner. He does a good job so far.
So 2nd down, 2nd and a long 4 coming up for East Pennsboro. Ball the 22-yard line. Here's J.J. Gossard, who's already had an impact tonight with the 1-yard touchdown on East Pennsboro's 12-play opening drive. Angelo goes in motion. Gossard with the handoff. Plenty of room to run. Gossard straight up the middle and gets across the 45-yard line, right to the 45, and there's a penalty marker down after the play. Singleton Brown made his 98th tackle of the season, and watch Gossard go.
Again, no misdirection with some motion, run counter, and they hit it. Gossard hits it. What a great hole. Let's see what this flag is. Is it coming back for holding?
Unsportsmanlike conduct. Number 4, East Pennsboro.
So unsportsmanlike conduct against East Pennsboro is going to bring them back. Now, last year when these two teams met, it was Susquehanna Township that had 3 or 4 personal fouls that really cost them the game a year ago. They talked about, Coach Heaton talked about that his guys realized they let the Colonial League Division Championship slip away that night when they lost to East Pennsboro. They were in control and then fell apart in the second half. 3 or 4 different personal foul penalties really hurt them a year ago in this series.
Penalties will kill you.
Gossard gets the handoff straight ahead. And he was hit by Mack. Mack was there almost as soon as Gossard got the football. Mack was there to layer the hit.
Yeah, that's a shame. That was a big play, and it came back. I'm sure Coach Dennison will have a conversation with Gossard on the personal foul, or the unsportsmanlike, I should say.
You cannot have those type of penalties in a game like this.
Nope. Not of this magnitude, no way.
Both these teams trailing Trinity by just a game in the Colonial Division. We'll look at those standings during halftime. See just how close it is. Gossert again, tackled by Mack again. 5-yard pickup. So a fourth or second down coming up. Third down, excuse me, coming up. So Gossert tackled by Mack again. 55 is finding the back of number 4. So a third down and 4. A 7-7 game. Stay tuned for your Focal Point Remodeling halftime report. Highlights and stats from the first half. Also the best high school football highlights from around the country. It's all coming up. The Focal Point Remodeling halftime report. So 3rd and 4, maybe a passing down for the junior quarterback Barla, who's undefeated as a starting quarterback. Gets the quick hitter to Everett. Everett has a first down and gets knocked out of bounds at the 46-yard line. Maletti was the one that knocked him out, but Everett, good run after catch. That's the thing with these receivers, a lot of yak yards with Everett and Angelo.
Yeah, it was a nice throw there by Turner. You know, put it right where, you know, right where the receiver needed it. He could be downhill running and read the blocks. It was a really nice job.
Kitchen Saver first down to the 46-yard line for the Panthers. 1st and 10. Angelo's in motion. They give it to Brune. Brune to midfield. So not a bad first down run for Elliott Brune, the junior. Mathis made the stop for the Indians. Ball's at midfield. 2nd and 6 coming up now for the Panthers. From midfield. Panthers trying to make it 5 wins in a row after dropping their first 2 games of the season. They're on a win streak. Their biggest win was last week on the road at West Perry, 35-14. That was a huge win for Coach Dennison's team. The quick hitter to Angelo. Angelo has a first down, is in Indians territory down to the 39-yard line. More run after catch. Martin made the stop.
Again, quick screen out to Angelo in the perimeter, and what a great job by East Pennsboro receivers in stalk blocking there.
That was number 10, Colton Keys, the sophomore, with that block.
Love it.
So the short passing game, you have to have a couple of things go right. You have to have people willing to block, your receivers willing to block, and you need a quarterback that can get that ball out to you quickly.
Yeah, and when you can do it, you're watching, because both teams are taking advantage of it. You're seeing some big plays, and sticks are moving.
Brune gets the handoff inside. So there, East Pennsboro sends some people in motion, tries to get some misdirection. Martin made the stop, his 44th tackle of the season for Martin. He's a guy who got hurt in week 3 last year. Martin was out for the remainder of the season after that injury last season, so his junior season ended early, but he's having a pretty good senior season at the linebacker position for the Indians. There's Coach Dennison in his 5th season. Longtime coach of running the Central Dauphin middle school program. Did that for a number of years and really was credited for all those great Central Dauphin teams for the development he did in middle school. The ball is on the ground, and Mack is there to be all over it. Brune fumbled it. Mack was there to bring him down. So good thing that Brune was able to fall on it after losing the football.
Seemed like he just took his eye off it a little bit. Was worried about the hole maybe he was looking to run through. It's the first time we've seen the ball hit the ground tonight.
Yeah, it is. 3rd down now coming up for East Pennsboro on this drive. Play number 10 of the drive. Quick hitter and incomplete. Was trying to get it to Angelo. Barlop hasn't missed much, but missed on that one.
Yeah, it looked like he didn't have didn't have the right grip on it. It came out of his hand a little different than the previous ones have. You'll see here.
Had that fake, and maybe that caused some trouble of him getting a handle on the football.
And sometimes it happens as a quarterback when you don't get the laces like he didn't have there. And it, being a little bit of a damp night, sometimes that can happen.
So Angelo will punt it. Had a great punt last time. Punted it all the way down to the inch line.
Again, as a coach, I bring back that.
Oh, the ball was blocked. Ball was blocked, and maybe just a 1-yard punt.
I bring back up that unsportsmanlike by Gossard.
Culpepper was in there on pressure, but didn't block it. Just kind of went off the side of his foot. But when you have big 50 there, it caused you to rush the punt. It wasn't blocked, but just went off the side of his foot.
It almost looked like they were trying to do like a rugby style, because he was a little different than what he did the first time he punted.
So the Indians have the football back, 5:25 to go, second quarter, 7-7 game. Evans with the handoff. Straight up the middle, all the way to midfield, and that is a kitchen saver first down run. Gossard was the run that brought him down. Seville with the run. Seville gets it to midfield, picks up 14 yards on the carry. So you have two backs that the Indians have, Rivera and Seville. Seville is more of, plant that foot in the ground and make people miss. Rivera, he's a good downhill and go type runner, so two different styles. Here's Seville again, making people miss, dodging across the 45 to the 44-yard line. I think it's important for the Indians to establish a running game to set up their wide receiver playmakers.
Yeah, you're seeing it, honestly, by both teams right now so far in this first half, establishing the run game, committing to the run game, and utilizing the clock. But again, penalties, if you don't have turnovers, penalties can be the other contributor or factor in not finishing drives.
2nd and 5 for the Indians. They give it right back to Seville, and they're going to keep going to that until East Pennsboro can stop it. Angelo made the tackle, but another kitchen saver first down, and Seville on 3 straight runs, a lot of positive yards for the Indians.
Yeah, you're seeing Susquehanna open up some nice holes here now.
There's that offensive line who have gotten better. Still a work in progress, but they have some big size to them. You're talking about a couple of 300-pounders on the left side. Jones is 6'2", 300 pounds, big number 77. Scott, 78, is 300-pound junior. They give it to Seville again, up the middle.
I'd stay with it too until they can stop it.
Time for us to raise the roof, brought to you by Abel Son Roofing and Siding. Abel and Son Roofing. Before you sign, call them. They raise the roof here with the East Pennsboro cheerleaders on homecoming tonight here at East Pennsboro. So 2nd and 8, the Indians moving the football. Would like a go-ahead touchdown. Evans, the throw, has the completion straight up the middle and finds Colston for his 6th catch of the season. James Colson, the 6'1", 175-pound senior. Comp was the one that made the stop.
That's a laser by Torrin Evans. What a great throw, right on the money.
Evans has 17 touchdown passes this season and just 1 interception. The game has definitely slowed down for the junior. So they're working inside the Keystone Fireplace red zone. Straight up the middle, going towards the end zone, and the goal line is Servell, and he's in. Servell with the touchdown. That is his 3rd rushing touchdown of the season, and it was all Rocky Servell in this drive.
Watch this 2nd and even 3rd effort here. Outstanding.
Servell in the end zone, and the Indians take the lead, and he gets a hug from Coach Heaton, who's doing up some doing some coaching there to his junior running back. So Cervel's touchdown puts Susquehanna Township on the board, their first lead of the night. Ramsey on for the extra point. The kick is up and the kick is good. And the Indians lead it by a touchdown. Back and forth tonight to these two Colonial League powers. The Indians take the lead 14-7 with 2:53 to go before our Focal Point Remodeling halftime report. Time for another Good Feet Store kickoff. Ramsey will kick it off for the Indians. Angelo back to receive the kickoff for East Pennsboro. Cervel, 6 carries, 47 yards. Had the go-ahead touchdown moments ago for Susquehanna Township. Here's your Good Feet Store kickoff. Ball goes out of bounds at the 15.
Did he touch it before it went out of bounds?
He might have.
Wow. I mean, it was a good decision not to catch it, but then stay away from it and let it go out of bounds. Yeah.
I think he touched it when he was out of bounds.
It's one of those where teachable moments. You just want to just get away from it and let it get out of bounds.
Remarkable home buyers scoring summary. 6-play, 62-yard drive. Took 2:27 off the clock. Cervel with the touchdown. Now has 7 carries for 58 yards. An 11-yard touchdown run by Cervel. Angelo on the swing pass. Neghetti with another stop. He's had a huge first half defensively for the Indians. Well, with Everett, you know, he took 2 years off of football, played as a freshman, and then concentrated on basketball his sophomore and junior year, and just came back out for his senior year. We're glad to have him, though.
Absolutely.
Gossert goes nowhere. Culpepper made the stop. There's a timeout. We'll step aside. 2:07 to go before the half. Hope you enjoyed the PSECU financial education tip, a focus on you. That's the PSECU difference. Back to football here, 2:07 to go before the half. Barlup's quick pass has the completion to Angelo. Angelo makes a man miss and runs for a first down. So you see what Angelo can do after making the catch.
That was crucial because he could have been stopped dead there in his tracks and ends up getting the first down and getting out of bounds.
So
Nice
great,
play.
great job by Angelo. All these special players on the Panthers side, as far as special playmakers, have a lot of yards after catch this season. Angelo actually started the season at quarterback, played the first 2 weeks as the starting quarterback, and then Barlup came in, and it's been the right formula because they haven't lost since. Here's a run by Everett, running to the outside, and he is knocked out of bounds.
Everett forced out of bounds.
Everett was trying to get the corner, but unable to.
Hannah's doing a much better job of containing the outside here now.
Brown was the one that knocked him out of bounds. Brown's going to be a special player. Now, he's only a sophomore, 5'10", 140 pounds, has 30 tackles on the season. Coach Heaton said, watch out for Brown.
Yeah.
Remember that name. He's going to be really good here in the next 2 years.
He was screaming downhill in that perimeter to push Everett out of bounds. Great play by him.
2nd and 14. They send Gossard in motion. They get the ball to him. Gossard breaks 2 tackles. Pretty good run by Gossard across the 30. He goes down to the 31 or so. So Gossard has the strength to break tackles. We've seen that a couple of times tonight.
Yeah, both him and Angelo are doing a nice job of, second, third effort, not going down the first hit, like showing some toughness right now, both of them.
3rd down, 3rd and 5 for the Panthers. They have 3 wide receivers at the bottom of your screen, and they take a timeout. Panthers going to talk this one over. It's a 3rd and 5, crucial 3rd down for them. Both teams have been pretty good on 3rd down so far in this first quarter. Coming up next week, we'll be back in the Mid-Penn Commonwealth. Bishop McDevitt, they haven't lost since their loss on Friday Night Rivals when they lost to Harrisburg in overtime. They've won 4 straight. They're at Cumberland Valley tonight. Stone Saunders, by the way, set the state record last week for career touchdown passes. We'll see Stone take on the Central Dauphin Rams next week on Friday Night Rivals. Of course, he's a Kentucky commit. We have an SEC commit with Kentucky. We have an SEC commit here tonight with Lex Cyrus at South Carolina. It's great to see so many outstanding high school players from the mid-state that go on to play Division I college football, either in the Big Ten or in the SEC.
Yep.
Here's a look at Mack. Coach Heaton believes that he's going to attract some offers very soon. 6'2", 280 pounds. Coach says the interest in Mack has been on the uptick as of late. You get the ball to Everett. Everett's going to have to see if he can use his feet to get the first down. Uses a stiff arm and gets out of bounds. Has enough for the first. So a good stiff arm by Everett to give him enough space to get the first down.
Yeah, it was a great job. Again, utilizing his stiff hand there, and getting out of bounds too. So they got to burn another timeout.
Burnett got him out of bounds, but it was enough for a kitchen saver first down. There is a look at Everett, who got that first down run. East Pennsboro has 52 seconds to see if they can try to tie this game going in to the break. Quick hitter to Everett, and he drops the football. Everett, the basketball player, scored his 1,000th point last year as a junior. But he might be thinking about football as a college athlete.
Absolutely. Yeah.
He came back to the game, skipped football his sophomore and junior year after playing his freshman season to concentrate more on basketball.
I'm not sure if the ball came out clean again on Barlup's hand. It seemed like it was slipping again at his release point.
2nd and 10 for the Panthers with 48 seconds to go before the half. Barlow's pass nearly intercepted by Brown. It was right in Brown's hand. They tried to get it to Angelo, and Brown almost had a pick. This Township defense only has 3 interceptions on the season. 2 of them were last week, but that was almost their 4th of the year. That could have been dangerous, right?
Yeah,
Brown would have picked that. He would have
yep.
had a lot of real estate in front of him.
Yep, that could have been really dangerous.
So 3rd and 10 now for the Panthers. Down by a touchdown, 14-7. Everett's in motion, and they give the ball to Brune. Brune gets back to the line of scrimmage, that's it. There's a timeout on the field. Susquehanna Township will call timeout. They want to have the football back with a little bit of time to give their offense a chance for a big play.
Question I have is, will Susquehanna Township try and block it here and go after it?
They might. During the Focal Point Remodeling halftime report, be sure to watch for the PA Beef Council beef tip and recipe. That's coming up at the half. College football tomorrow. Navy's off to a great start to the season. They'll take on Air Force tomorrow. They haven't won in Colorado in a long time. And then the Big Ten game on CBS. CBS, the new home of Big Ten football. It is Iowa and Ohio State. Chip Kelly, the offensive coordinator at Ohio State, and he's doing pretty well. They're averaging about 48 points a game. NFL on Sunday on CBS all starts at noon with the NFL Today with JB and the gang in New York. And then the Ravens, they seem to figured things out with their big win over the Bills. They'll take on the Bengals, and then at 4:25, the doubleheader on Sunday, Packers and the LA Rams. So the Panthers will punt the football to the Indians. And the ball goes out of bounds. They didn't want Lex Cyrus to have an opportunity to get a punt return on him. Cyrus had a week 1 kickoff return for a score. Ball's out at the 43-yard line. That's where Susquehanna Township will have the football with a final 32 seconds before the half. So 32 seconds to go, second quarter. Township trying to add to their 14-7 lead. Evans, who has 17 touchdown passes, gets the ball out quickly to Brown. Brown has a couple of catches in this first half
Evans gets the ball off
and gets out of bounds.
Brown up the left side, steps out of bounds, stops the clock.
Ball's right at midfield. 28 seconds to go before the half. Three wide receivers to the top. Evans fires and has the completion to Brown and gets right out of bounds. Has enough for the first down. Jamie Thomas over there on the sidelines. We showed a shot of him on the Susquehanna Township sidelines. The assistant coaches for Coach Heaton. Played at Syracuse, was an Orange, and a little bit with the Indianapolis Colts. Evans pressured, gets it out quick, and it's tackled immediately. Great job. Coming up to make the tackle immediately on Kearns as Brune made the stop, number 22 for East Pennsboro. Kern caught it. Brune was right there to hit him. That was a big play by Brune.
Yeah, huge play.
11 seconds to go here before our Focal Point halftime report. Township would like to add to their lead. They have the ball at the East Pennsboro 48-yard line. Good crowd on hand tonight. This is a big game in the Mid-Penn Colonial. East Pennsboro won the Colonial Division a year ago. This game will have a long way to go in determining who wins. So 15 seconds will be put on the clock.
15 seconds on the game clock, 13 seconds.
Second and 15 from the 48. Evans, time to throw. Now here comes pressure. Gets out of the pressure. Looks downfield. The lefty fires downfield towards the end zone. And the ball is intercepted. Intercepted by J.J. Gossert. Pretty good arm, though, by the lefty. Was able to throw it about 48 yards. Gossert with the interception. Take another look at this play, Chris, as Evans was able to scramble out of some pressure.
Yeah.
And then locked and loaded.
Yeah, just lets it go. And what a high point. Great play by Gossard there to intercept that pass. Track it down and high point it.
Gossert's second interception of the season. Gossard 2 picks on the year. He has the touchdown, the only East Penn touchdown on their opening drive where they won 12 plays, and Gossard punched it in from 1 yard out and now has a big interception here to keep Susquehanna Township off the board before the half. So a sideline penalty on East Pennsboro. They were warned once. Second time, mark off the yards. East Pennsboro is just going to down the ball and get into the half. And as these teams head to the half, it's time for both teams to hit the showers with West Shore home. To the locker room they go with West Shore home. Halftime of the Wellspan Urgent Orthopedics Friday Night Rivals is coming up. Susquehanna Township has a 14-7 lead over East Pennsboro. We'll hear from Coach Heaton in a second. Get his thoughts on the first half. Both teams head to the locker rooms, brought to you by West Shore Home. The Focal Point halftime report is coming up. We'll have scores, highlights, stats from the first half. And we're getting Coach Heaton in position. All right. Coach, great first half. Your team really established the run. Talk about establishing the run in this first half.
You know, that's super important right now in a game like this because, you know, the turf isn't the greatest. So, you know, you talk about this time of season, you have to run the ball. And we're going to have to continue to try to establish the run and, you know, use the run to set up the pass. Typically, we're vice versa. But we're going to have to keep working at it.
Defensively, what needs to improve defensively for you guys?
We just got to keep running to the ball. And, again, understanding our keys and understanding what we practice. But if we keep running to the ball, that is the key. Run to the ball and make sure tackles. Possibly create some turnovers, which are always big in games, but we got to run to the ball.
All right, Coach Heaton, thanks a lot. Have a great second half. Thanks for taking the time with us here as we start the first half. Coming up, your Focal Point remodeling halftime report. It's Susquehanna Township 14, East Pennsboro 7. You are watching Wellspan Urgent Orthopedics Friday Night Rivals.
Wellspan Urgent Orthopedics Friday Night Rivals.
One touchdown game here at halftime. Susquehanna Township 14, East Pennsboro 7 in this crucial Mid-Penn Colonial Division game. Homecoming tonight here at East Pennsboro. Time for us to take a look at some of the best plays in high school football from around the country.
The best Thursday night lights and Friday night rivals highlights from across the country.
Gaysford corner. That pass
Whoa!
high and caught. One-handed catch.
Under the rain that has been steady since kickoff, and it's a fake. It's a fake running up the middle, and with the first down is Omeza Danian. Some trickery on special teams, and Green Hill converts.
On their own 3-yard line. Judkins, it hit hard, right in the hands of Landon Crozier for the big red touchdown.
Oh, right place, right time, man. Great defensive play.
Coordinators thinking 2 plays here. Ball's on the ground. Vogel's trying to make something out of nothing, and does. He's still on his feet. Vogel to the 15, to the 10. Touchdown, Vogel! Talk about stick-to-itiveness. That play was blown up, and that young man just wouldn't give up.
Field goal attempt. If they're inside, they'll probably go for it a third time, James.
Compton trying to find a way, and he's going to run out of defenders. He still has the football. Throw it into the end zone. Is it a catch? They call it a catch.
Some great plays. Everyone lined up for some food here at the half. A good game here in the Mid-Penn Colonial. It's Susquehanna Township 14, East Pennsboro 7. Our Focal Point Remodeling halftime report rolls on homecoming tonight. Looking to get on.
This is the Focal Point Remodeling halftime report.
Week number 7 of Friday Night Rivals. It's a 14-7 lead for Susquehanna Township. Homecoming tonight. Big crowd for homecoming. Big crowd because both these teams just one loss in the Colonial Division. Now it's time for our Scholar Athletes, brought to you by Schellenberger Januzzi Wolf LLP. For Susquehanna Township, you've seen him out in the field. Where's number 62, Mason Leuhold? And this kid is not only a great football player, but how about this? He had a perfect AP Civic score and a perfect AP English score, and he has a 102 GPA, probably heading to the Ivy League to play football. Mason Leuhold, outstanding Scholar Athlete. For East Pennsboro, Iris Klein, softball and basketball. Outstanding athlete and also outstanding in the classroom. Iris Klein, softball and basketball standout, and also one of the top students in her class. So both of these student athletes are eligible for the Scholar Athlete, eligible to win a $3,000 scholarship to be presented at the end of the season, courtesy of Schellenberger Januzzi Wolf LLP, who is proud to support and encourage outstanding student athletes across central Pennsylvania. Congratulations to both of our student athletes and Scholar Athletes tonight. Homecoming continues, so does our Focal Point Remodeling halftime report. 14-7, Township with the lead.
This is the Focal Point Remodeling halftime report.
Big crowd tonight here at East Pennsboro for this one. Homecoming, but they're here also to see a very good football game and a crucial game in the Mid-Penn Colonial. Let's take a look at the standing and show you how tight things are. Trinity's atop the standings. They're 5-1 on the season, 4-0 in Colonial League play. And then right behind them, East Pennsboro and Susquehanna Township. Of course, East Pennsboro, the defending Colonial League champs, they're sitting at 4-2 and 4-1 in Colonial League play. Susquehanna Township 5-1 overall. They're at 3-1 in Colonial League play. And then everybody else, West Perry, Big Spring, Milton Hershey, and then at the bottom, Middletown, Greencastle, and Boiling Spring. So this is a very important game for both teams. Next week, East Pennsboro's at Middletown and then at James Buchanan, and they finish the season at home against Big Spring. For Susquehanna Township, here's who's left. Big Spring next week, and then a huge game could be for the division championship at Trinity in week 9, and then they finish the season at home against Milton Hershey. So this game tonight will go a long way in determining who wins the Mid-Penn Colonial. We're at the half at Susquehanna Township 14, East Pennsboro 7.
This is the Focal Point Remodeling Halftime Report.
Susquehanna Township with a 1-touchdown lead. They lead it 14-7 here at the half. Let's take a look at our Focal Point Remodeling first half highlights. East Pennsboro, very impressive to get the game started. Their opening drive, 12 plays, 64 yards, ended with J.J. Gossard in the end zone for his 6th rushing touchdown of the season. It was 7-0. And then the big guy, Jaden Riley, just pushing the pile for the touchdown, his 2nd touchdown in as many weeks. 7-7 game. Seville, watch him go. 11-yard touchdown run. Great second effort. 14-7. That's where we are at the half. Let's take a look at our first half highlights between these two teams. And Chris, almost the same. Yeah. 170 for Susquehanna Township, 155 for East Pennsboro. You see the difference. But definitely both teams doing it on the ground. Penalties keys, right?
Penalties are so crucial. And, I again go back to that. Gossard unsportsmanlike 15-yarder after that nice run he had to get him past midfield, and then they came back and they ended up punting. Things like that can come back to haunt you.
Both teams over 100 yards rushing, trying to do it on the ground. We'll see what the second half brings. Should be a great second half. Homecoming, they're going to crown the king and queen tomorrow at the homecoming dance. They just introduced the court tonight here at the football game. We'll be back after this. It's a Remarkable Home halftime report.
Closed captioning for tonight's game is sponsored by EricBuysYourHouse.com.
It's your Focal Point Remodeling halftime report. Special guest at the field tonight, Penn State head coach James Franklin. Just got here at halftime. Saying hello to everybody. James Franklin with a big game tomorrow at noon kickoff at Beaver Stadium against UCLA. And then next week he'll be out in Cali at USC. Big road trip with a couple of new teams from the West Coast in, of course, the Big Ten. There's James saying hello to the Susquehanna Township coaching staff. Good to have James Franklin in attendance. We had James Franklin in attendance, boy, you'd have to go back maybe 6-7 years ago when he was at Camp Hill. It's great to see him, right? And this is part of the job and part of the recruiting, right, Chris?
Absolutely. You know, it never ends. That's college football. It's recruiting all the time. Even in season, it's recruiting.
A lot of recruiting going on for sure. Everybody's excited that Coach Franklin is here tonight. Homecoming at East Pennsboro. We got a pretty good football game. Township leads at 14-7. I think that both teams were very similar in their the way they handled their offense.
Yeah, you touched on it. The game plan, I think, both of them committing to the run and establishing the run game and mixing in some quick screens, high percentage throws for their quarterbacks and getting the ball in the perimeter with some of their speed and playmakers. It's been a fun first half. It should be an exciting second half.
Should be very exciting second half, and I'm looking forward to it. We're going to hear from Coach Dennison down on the field and gets his thoughts on the first half. So, Coach, great first half. As far as your team on the ground, I imagine you want to keep doing what you did in the first half as far as your ground attack.
We do. We had a few too many 3-and-outs. We've got it. Excuse me one second. Coach. That's all right. I got you. Sorry about that. Yeah, we had just too many 3-and-outs. We've got to be able to continue to grind the ball and hang on to it a little bit more. They're extremely explosive. We know that. We've got to keep the ball out of their hands.
All right, Coach. Thanks a lot. Go say hello to Coach Franklin before you coach the second half. Good luck in the second half, Coach.
Thanks so much. Thanks.
All right, so Coach Dennison wants to get a quick word in with Coach Franklin as well. Everybody's excited that he's in the house. Coach Dennison, he played his college football at Duquesne, high school football at Trinity, the Mechanicsburg native. Coming up next week, we'll be in the Mid-Penn Commonwealth. We'll be at Rocco Ortenzio Stadium. Our second look at the Bishop McDevitt Crusaders and our second look at the Central Dauphin Rams. Should be an interesting game. Rams and Crusaders next week, week number 8 from Rocco Ortenzio Stadium. Wellspan Urgent Orthopedics Friday Night Rivals. Phil Shaner, Chris Thompson with you tonight. Looking forward to this second half. You know, Coach talked a little bit about, he's hoping his defense can come up and make a stop or two for him. What do you think the key will be here? Who will come out on top? What needs to happen for either one of these teams to take the second half?
Well, I think Coach Dennison touched on it a little bit there in second half, and they got to, prevent the 3-and-outs, the penalties, things that can hurt your drives, as well as gives them more opportunities. Susquehanna Township, with their explosive playmakers and a number of them at receiver, running back. We've seen what they can do quickly. So that's going to be the name of the game. It's going to be turnovers and penalties, I think, for the second half, and who can play, mistake-free football.
For Susquehanna Township, Savell 7 carries, 58 yards and a touchdown. Rivera 5 carries for 24 yards. Evans been pretty good tonight. 9 of 11, 69 yards. Had that one interception there at the end of the half. Cyrus has a couple of grabs for 23 yards. Brown 3 catches for 20. Colston has a catch for 19 yards. And Kern has 2 receptions as well for Susquehanna Township. For East Pennsboro, their offense is doing it on the ground. Gossert 12 carries, 67 yards and a touchdown. Everett 3 carries, 19 yards. Braun 7 carries, 13 yards. Angelo 2 carries, 13 yards. Barlup 6 of 10 passing for 43 yards, and receiving, Angelo has 4 catches for 28 yards, and Everett 2 grabs for 15 yards. So there's your individual stats for the offensive players for both Susquehanna Township and East Pennsboro. We showed you at half there how tight things are in the Mid-Penn Colonial. Tonight, Middletown is at Line Mountain. West Perry is at Big Spring. Greencastle is at Milton Hershey. And Boylan Springs, who's 1-5, is at 5-1 Trinity tonight in the Mid-Penn Colonial. Our spotter, Kevin Huddy, back in place after getting very close to Penn State coach James Franklin down on the sidelines. He's ready to go. So are we. The Good Feet Store kickoff to start our second half. Here's Coach Heaton. Been there for a long time. Has done a great job at Susquehanna Township. Has been there since 2001. Hard to believe that they were 0-10 in 2021. There's the Good Feet Store kickoff, another short kick. Now, Susquehanna Township last year was 7-4. Then they were 6-5 in 2022. But the year before that, in 2021, they were 0-10. The COVID year, they struggled as well. They were just 2-5. But Coach has turned things around, as he has many times at Susquehanna Township since taking over that program in 2001. Susquehanna Township will have the football to start this second half. There's their junior quarterback, Torrin Evans, the lefty, who we saw last year in the playoff game, in the District 3 playoff game against Manheim Central, which they lost, but he played pretty well in that game. That's Rivera, straight up the middle, across midfield to the 49-yard line. Newman made the stop, but the Indians are in Panther territory. 6-yard pickup, 2nd and 4. Cervell is now standing next to Evans. Evans time to pass, now has to retreat and leave the pocket. Fires downfield, incomplete. Was looking for Brown, who was his favorite target in the first half, and he's upset. I don't know if he's upset at one of his receivers didn't make the right route run or what, but Evans is a little fired up, the junior quarterback.
Yeah, something, miscommunication between him and the receiver. Something just didn't seem right there.
Lefty has a pretty strong arm.
Yep.
So there he had Cyrus and Brown right next to one another. He went to Brown and incomplete. Last week, Evans threw for 242 yards and a touchdown. He was 16 of 27 a week ago. Again, this season, over 1,600 yards passing, 17 touchdowns, and the 1 interception. So he's been good. Last year, Susquehanna Township made it to the District 3 playoffs, lost to Manheim Central. That was in his sophomore year. That's one thing you got to remember. This kid is only a junior. Got the rest of this season and all of next season. They send Kern in motion. They get it to Kern. Kern has the first down. Gets up to the 43-yard line. So Kern takes that swing pass, enough for the first down.
You know, I got to think Kern is going to get some attention too from some colleges, only being a junior.
Yeah, that's Coach Heaton believed that. Came into this game with 24 catches and 6 touchdowns. He's been making big plays. He had a breakout game in one of the games that we had him on Friday Night Rivals. Going straight ahead is Rivera. Breaks a tackle. Would have been a tackle for a loss, but how, you know, as a coach, and this was one thing that both coaches said, we got to make tackles. We got to make the plays. And I know Coach Dennison said we have to make the tackles. And there would have been a tackle for maybe a 2-yard loss. Instead, it's a 2-yard gain.
Yeah. Game of inches. And again, when you go to tackle, you got to be careful not to leave your feet too early. And it's not easy to do because Susquehanna Township has a lot of elusive athletes.
Quick pass, trying to get it to Lex Cyrus, but over his head and incomplete. 3rd down coming up now for the Indians as they're working in Panther territory with a 14-7 lead. Lex Cyrus, the South Carolina commit, but Penn State's head coach is here tonight. Watching everybody.
Yep. Well, it's in your backyard.
There's a look at Lex Cyrus, one of the fastest men in the state, the winner of the 100-meter state championship. And Kern was the intended target and just overthrew Kern and incomplete. It's one thing when you give so much attention to the speed of Lex Cyrus, that opens things up for guys like Curran and Brown.
You hit it on the head. I mean, you know, especially if a defense is going to bracket Lex Cyrus and put two guys, you know, on him, it's going to leave other people one-on-one.
So Ramsey will punt the football. Bruin is back to receive the punt for the Panthers. So the Panthers did their job, get the ball back to their offense. Here's Ramsey's punt. Fair catch called for by Bruin, who falls on it, and he dropped it. Drops it, and the Indians have the football back. That is huge. Called for the fair catch. Bruin couldn't hold on to it. The ball is dropped, and then it was picked up by number 7, Maletti. Steph Maletti, the sophomore, picked it up. Huge play. Turnovers just kill you, don't they?
They're game changers, momentum changers. We talked about it, you know, and we haven't seen one up until this point, and that was the first one of the.
Yeah, we had the
interception. Yeah,
yep.
That didn't.
And the Maletti, now they're working in the Keystone Fireplace red zone. A great opportunity for Susquehanna Township. So just when you said the East Penn defense did their job, gets their ball back to the offense, Bruin was not able to hold on to the fair catch, and now Susquehanna Township is in scoring position, trying to go up 2 scores. Evans, 10 of 15, 74 yards for the lefty quarterback, the junior. Having another strong night. So they're working from the 12-yard line. 2nd down for the Indians. Trying to build on their 14-7 lead. Handoff, Seville, touchdown. He's hard to stop. There he goes for his 2nd touchdown of the night. Seville is in for the score. So that's 2 touchdown runs for Seville. Seville now on the season has 4 rushing touchdowns.
A little split zone action there, run. Saw a great block by the H-back coming across in the defensive end, and huge hole for Seville to run through.
So Seville makes East Pennsboro pay for their turnover on the special teams. There's a player injured down on the field. And it's 20-7. Susquehanna Township with the lead after Seville's 2nd touchdown of the night and 4th touchdown of the season.
That's Logan Newman back on his feet. Hang in there, buddy.
So Logan Newman is the injured player. Logan had that ACL injury last year, so he knows what it's all about with injuries. Ramsey on for the extra point for Susquehanna Township. The kick is up, and the kick is good. Susquehanna Township takes a 2-touchdown lead and lead it 21-7. (21-7) Susquehanna Township with a lead over East Pennsboro. 9:36 to go in the 3rd quarter. Seville, 8 carries, 70 yards, 2 touchdowns. Getting it done tonight for the Indians. Out of the backfield. Susquehanna Township was able to take advantage of the muff play on special teams. Ramsey will have the Good Feet store kickoff for the Susquehanna Township Indians. Susquehanna Township wants to end East Pennsboro's 4-game win streak that they're on. There's a kick that bounces, and Gossard has it. Gossard straight ahead. Gossard shy of the 40, down to the 39-yard line. Remarkable homebuyers scoring summary. Here was the muff punt play. Brune called for the fair catch and then dropped the football. The Indians fall on it and they make them pay. Servell with his 4th rushing touchdown of the season in for the score, and it's 21-7. There is your remarkable homebuyers scoring summary. So a 1st and 10 for East Pennsboro. They need to get things going. Combined, Servell and Rivera, 16 carries, 103 yards, and 2 touchdowns. The Indians getting it done on the ground tonight. Before the snap.
Still first down.
There's another thing that really upsets coaches, the pre-snap penalty.
East Pennsboro is a little out of sync right now, out of rhythm.
Moves them back 5 yards. East Pennsboro, the most production they had on offense was their opening drive when they went 12 plays, 64 yards in 4 minutes and 43 seconds, and it ended with the J.J. Gossard 1-yard touchdown. They led 7-0. Since then, 21 answered by Susquehanna Township. Another penalty.
A foul. Full start. Offense.
Chris, 2 in a row.
Still first down.
Yeah, we didn't see any of that in the first half. You know, they've been moving and shifting guys, and it seems like they're causing a little bit of their own confusion here in these first 2 plays.
Rattled is the word to use, right? The East Pennsboro Panthers right now are rattled. Started with the mishap of the punt that turned into points, and now here the offense can't even get a play. 2 back-to-back penalties, and it's 1st and 20 for the Panthers. Barlup's pass complete to Everett. What a catch by Everett. Burnett made the stop. What a great catch by Everett. He went up for it, loses his helmet. He'll have to go out for a play. That's a basketball player making a big catch.
Yeah. And that's 2 great athletes going after the ball. I mean,
he got that at the high point.
Yep, he's outstanding. And helmet came off, took a little bit of a hit there. What a huge, I mean, to overcome the two penalties.
So they gained 18 yards. The only problem, Chris, it was, they needed 20. So now there's, 2nd and 2, 2nd and 3 coming up for the Panthers. Incomplete. Trying to get it to Colton Keys, the sophomore, and threw it behind Keys. You went to Bloomsburg with Colton Keys' father.
Yeah, his dad, Matt, was a heck of a linebacker. Yep.
You guys lived together for a year or two, right?
Roommates, teammates, had a lot of fun, won a lot of football games, played for a national championship together. Yeah, a lot of great memories. And his son is only a sophomore, but he's following in his dad's footsteps for sure. And probably a little bit, he probably would say he's got a little bit better wheels on him than his old man.
Angelo with the run into Indian territory, and a 1-800-GOT-JUNK first down run by Aaron Angelo. Martin made the stop.
It's a nice job. It's a nice job by Angelo getting north, getting the first down.
There's an injured Panther down on the field. Or check him out. Panthers need to get something together here. Need to put together a scoring drive to get right back into the football game. Coming up Saturday, tomorrow, college football on CBS. Commander-in-Chief Trophy, the first leg of it, Navy and Air Force. Navy hasn't won in Colorado since 2012, and then it's Ohio State and Iowa. Big Ten football tomorrow. Ohio State has dominated the series with Iowa, winning 13 of their last 15 meetings. And then on Sunday, the NFL, the Ravens and Bengals at 1, Packers and Rams at 4:25. So your football viewership is all set for you, with college football on Saturday and then the NFL on Sunday. So Harris, the injured player, comes off the field. Looks like comes off walking, which is a good sign for the left guard, Elijah Harris. Coach Dennison said the offensive line, the biggest area of improvement. He said flat out they got out to a very slow start the first 2 games of the season when they went 0-2 to start the season. He said that the offensive line got a whole lot better. That play is blown up in the backfield and a tackle for a loss. Singleton Brown, who's now closing in on 100 tackles on the season, comes in and has a tackle for a loss.
Yeah, he came out of nowhere. Watch him right here. And that makes the play.
Brune was the one carrying the football. Singleton Brown. I hope that everyone's taken note of the kind of year that Singleton Brown is having at that linebacker position. Coach Heaton said he's one of those guys that is a high motor. He doesn't even like to take a play off in practice. He said he believes that when he was in daycare, he was one of those kids that they would just give up. When they trying to take a nap, they would just let him go run around. That's the kind of motor that Singleton Brown has. Quick completion to Angelo. Angelo gets a couple of yards, and that is it, as Mack was there to bring him down.
You heard Coach Heaton talk about at halftime, swarming, defense swarming to the ball. They're doing a good job of that right now.
Barlup 7 of 12 passing, 59 yards. Gossard 12 carries, 67 yards and a touchdown. Everett has 3 grabs for 31 yards, the offensive leaders for East Pennsboro. And there is Coach Heaton. His son JoJo played at Bishop McDevitt and then played at ODU. I believe he's down coaching at Virginia Tech with the Hokies. His son JoJo Heaton. Keys in motion. They're going to get it to Keys. Incomplete pass. What's your take on that, Chris? Was it backwards?
I'm not sure.
Let's see if it was. That's the key. What we're looking for here now to see if it was backwards or not. So let's take another look at Barlup's pass to Keys.
That's the 11-yard line. No, that's forward. That should be incomplete.
So that should be a forward pass. Coach Dennison's not going to be happy about it. So just when East Pennsboro was moving things, that turnover plays huge for Coach Dennison and his Panthers. Let's take one more look at this thing, and what we're looking at here is if it's either a forward or a backwards pass. If it's a backwards pass, then it's a fumble. If it's a forward pass, then it's not.
I think what sets it off is the fact that Colton Keys had to turn backwards to get it. But it looked like it was a forward pass. You know, Barlup was about the 11-yard line.
A little trickery to get the ball to Cyrus. Cyrus makes a man miss and then spins and is tackled at the 40-yard line by Angelo, and a penalty marker comes out. So a little trickery there to get Lex Cyrus the ball on the reverse. And a penalty face mask on East Pennsboro. So everything that could go wrong is going wrong for the Panthers.
Yeah. The turnovers, penalties, right there. You saw the face mask on Lex Cyrus.
6:49 to go, third quarter. Susquehanna Township up 21-7. And that is Rivera. Not much there for Rivera, but Susquehanna Township has decided that they were going to make the running game preference for them. Ridgely made the stop. And they have with their 2 running backs. They have the 1-2 punch with Rivera and Seville, and both of them have been pretty good. Seville has the 2 touchdowns, but Rivera's had some key runs for the Indians tonight as well.
Well, and you've also seen Susquehanna Township's offensive line seems to be doing a really good job of controlling the line of scrimmage here throughout the game. Now that they're up 2 scores, I would anticipate they're going to continue to do that, mix in some passes every now and again, but I would say they're going to continue to run the football.
2nd down for the Indians. Evans' pass, incomplete. Goes near sideline and was looking for Leaks. Leaks has 14 catches, 242 yards, and 2 touchdowns this season. He had only 1 catch last week in the win over Middletown, but Coach pointed out that he had the key block that freed Cyrus for a touchdown, and he said that his receivers are starting to realize how to play unselfish and knowing that, you know, you make a block for a touchdown, that's just like catching a ball.
Yeah, you touched on it, being unselfish, looking out for your brother, you know, taking opportunities.
3rd down for Evans. Fires incomplete, too high, over the head of Colson. Alami on the coverage. Colston was the intended target. So let's see if East Pennsboro, their defense comes up, makes a stop. Now they have to get things going again offensively and cut out with the penalties and the turnovers. Because 1 touchdown gets them right back in the game.
Yeah, it was surprising to see on 2nd and 3rd down Susquehanna Township throw the football there.
Ramsey will punt it from his 30-yard line. Short punt. East Pennsboro tries to get away from it. And it's touchdown there, and that's where the Panthers will have the football. It's time for us to raise the roof. Abel Sun Roofing and Siding. Before you sign, call Abel Sun and Roofing as we raise the roof on Wellspan Urgent Orthopedics Friday Night Rivals, week number 7. A gold rush in the East Pennsboro student section tonight. Great homecoming ceremony. They'll crown the homecoming queen and king tomorrow at the dance. They introduce the homecoming candidates tonight. Barlup hands the football off. Straight ahead, it's Gossard. Gossard trying to get some tough yards.
One of the things you're seeing also by Susquehanna do is getting off blocks and staying disciplined with all the movement, you know, motions and shifts that are going on. They definitely had some to adjust to some of that they were seeing in the first half.
There's a player down for Township. Might be a cramp that they're working out now. Township, we're in week 7, so things are getting down to the end here. Next week they play Big Spring, and then in week 9 they're at Trinity. And that game, if things hold up, and if Susquehanna Township holds on here tonight, that game, you know, could be for the, you know, Colonial. And then they have Milton Hershey to finish the season. And as far as East Penn, next week they're at Middletown and then at James Buchanan, and they finish the season at home against Big Spring. So when you're this far in 7 weeks, you got to start thinking about divisional championships. You got to start thinking about District 3 power points and where you are in the District 3 playoffs, because the playoffs are right around the corner.
Yeah.
This is the first Friday in October, yet the season ends before Halloween, and then, you know, the playoffs will be here in just a few short weeks. 2nd and 9 for the Panthers. Quick hitter and the completion to Angelo. Angelo has running room. He has some speed. Angelo's going to the house, and East Pennsboro's right back into the game. You want run after catch? Angelo takes a short pass from Barlup and goes the distance for the touchdown, and the Panthers are back in it.
Huge play. Love watch Angelo here. He little juke move and gets north, splits the defenders, and great block there on the perimeter.
77-yard touchdown. That's your Faulkner Honda touchdown. Barlup to Aaron Angelo, and Angelo does the rest with his legs. 77-yard touchdown. That's his 5th receiving touchdown of the season for the senior. And there is a look at Angelo. The extra point. There's a penalty marker down. I think somebody jumped right over the center, which you cannot do. That'll be on Susquehanna Township.
Can't do that at any level.
Let's take a look. Yep. Leaping over the center.
Oh, he stepped on him too. Jeez.
Well, so the Panthers will obviously decline the penalty. The kick will be good.
Personal foul, defense. That penalty will be assessed on the kickoff.
All right, so the penalty will go on the kickoff. So give the Panthers the touchdown, and it's a 1-touchdown game, 21-14.
Your Kutztown beat my East Stroudsburg last week.
We got ourselves a ball game now. East Pennsboro strikes with a 77-yard touchdown, and it's 21-14. 5 minutes to go, third quarter. The Panthers, despite some shaky moments here in the third quarter, right back into the football game. Good Feet Store kickoff as they kick it deep this time to the Indians, taken from the 3-yard line. On the return is the freshman, Galt Jr. That's the first kickoff we've seen the ball kicked deep. Remarkable homebuyer scoring summary. Took 2 plays, 77 yards. And how fast can Angelo get to the end zone? Well, the drive was just 48 seconds. Angelo, 6 catches, 108 yards, and the touchdown. He now has 5 receiving touchdowns on the season. There is your remarkable homebuyer scoring summary. So everything that's gone wrong for the Panthers in this quarter doesn't matter now. You're down by a touchdown, and Coach Dennison knows that his team is right back in the ballgame. Indians going back to the run game. Serville, who has the 2 touchdowns, gets the carry. And why not feed the hot hand? Because he has been hot tonight. Daskalakis made the stop. So Coach Franklin is here tonight, and he walked by one of our cameramen who goes to wearing a Kutztown University shirt, and he said, "Your Kutztown team beat my East Stroudsburg Warriors last weekend." James Franklin, the former quarterback under Coach Dowds at East Stroudsburg. Handoff Serville up the middle. I would just keep giving the ball to number 2.
Yeah, they're gaining chunks right now on that left side of the line.
And there's the Kutztown sweatshirt. Got a little love from Coach Franklin. That Kutztown's having a great year.
They are. Coach Clements has done a great job there.
They're off to one of their best starts ever.
They got my alma mater tomorrow, Bloomsburg.
Oh, that'll be good.
Yeah, it should be a good one. Yep.
Kutztown won the PSAC and then off to their best start in years. Coach Franklin, a quarterback at East Stroudsburg and the PSAC. Oh, what a spin by Seville across the 40 to the 41. That's enough for a 1-800-GOT-JUNK first down. Seville, time after time, just making great moves. Keys was the one that stopped him. But look at the footwork.
It's never good when the safety's making tackles because he's so elusive and shifty.
Seville's been the star tonight for this offense for the Indians. 2 touchdowns. He's been outstanding. So a 1st and 10 after that Seville run. Ball at the 41-yard line, the Indians' own 41. Panthers defense needs another stop. Here comes some pressure. Blitz comes, they get it to Cyrus. Cyrus takes the pass. He has 12 yards, breaks a tackle, give him 13 yards. So the swing pass very quickly to Cyrus, and he has another first down with a 13-yard pickup. Braun made the stop.
Again, great perimeter blocking. And you see his electricity and how quick he can get, north and downfield.
He's made some special plays over the years playing on Friday Night Rivals, his Lex Cyrus. Going all the way back to his freshman year. He's put on some shows, and the Friday night cameras have shown up over the years. He was the one really responsible for last week's win, a touchdown win over Middletown. Coach Heaton said, we were just glad to have Lex Cyrus last week because that was a dogfight. Evans has the completion to Cyrus. Cyrus spins, makes a couple of men miss, and back-to-back catches for Lex Cyrus. Brunn was the one that made the stop.
You're going to see Torrin Evans throw a laser again here, right on money to Cyrus.
Brune was there to bring him down. All the way down to the 24-yard line. And Evans has gone to Cyrus twice. Back-to-back passes to number 8. So Susquehanna Township wants to answer the East Penn 77-yard touchdown that Angelo had with a touchdown of their own here in the final 1:45 of the third quarter. Seville with the handoff, makes a man miss, puts his head down and rams his way. Tough run. There's a 1-800-JUNK first down. Keys makes another stop, but as you said, you don't want your safety making all the stops.
No, and you see him, breaks the safety's tackle and continues for some more. Like, you almost got to think that East Pennsboro maybe has to do something different within the box there.
Seville could be closing in on his 3rd touchdown of the night. It's time now to look for some of the best mustaches around the stadium tonight here at George R. Saxton Jr. Memorial Stadium. Wow, a lot of hair going on there. You're not only a mustache, you got the beard working. Barber Styling Institute, our sponsor of Mustache Cam. I believe he has a mustache and a milkshake. He knows he's on TV, and he knows he's on Barber Styling Institute Mustache Cam. It's famous. It happens every third quarter of the Wellspan Urgent Orthopedics Friday Night Rivals. So the Indians have the ball on the 11, working inside the Keystone Fireplace red zone, looking for their 4th touchdown of the night. They give it to Seville, and he slips and falls on the wet turf down at the 5. Seville has 2 rushing touchdowns tonight. Could it be a 3rd?
And the thing is he's only a junior. He's gonna be he's not a big kid, but he's gonna be a problem next year.
And his running mate Rivera, he's a junior as well.
Yeah.
And their quarterback, he's a junior.
And Kearns is a junior.
Yeah.
Like,
they got a lot of firepower back next year once they lose the likes of Lex Cyrus and Mason Leupold and a couple of other players on the Indians that are seniors. Second down from the 5. Serville gets the handoff, not this time. Tackle for a loss. Angelo, who had the 77-yard touchdown, gets a tackle for a loss, wraps him up in the backfield. Serville, 12 carries, 109 yards, 2 touchdowns tonight. That's his numbers. Cyrus, 4 catches, 59 yards for the wide receiver going to South Carolina. End of the third quarter, we head to the fourth. Susquehanna Township with a 1-touchdown lead. It's 21-14. Start of the fourth quarter, Susquehanna Township has a 21-14 lead. Third down and goal from the 5, and Serville is short. Lamy made the stop.
Big fourth down. You kick the field goal, take the points, or you give the ball one more time to Serville?
I think knowing, like I know Joe Heaton over the years, he's going to go for it.
I would think so too.
So here we go. Fourth down coming up for the Indians. Ball on the 3-yard line. 4th and goal from the 3. Servill's in the backfield with Evans. See if the Panthers can dial up some pressure and keep him out of the end zone. Evans is going to keep it himself. Spins at the goal line, and he's in for the score. Nice play call. Evans had the option to either give it to Serville or keep it himself, and he made the right read.
Yes, he did. It was a great job because it looked like Angelo was there to make the play on Serville, but nobody was there to make the play on Torrin Evans.
Evans' 3rd rushing touchdown of the season from 3 yards out. And there is your Faulkner Honda touchdown. And going to put him up 2 scores again. So Evans with 3 rushing touchdowns to go along with his 17 touchdown passes he's had this season. Ramsey on for the extra point. Try to make this a 28-14 2-score game for the Indians. The extra point is up, and it is good. And Susquehanna Township leads at 28-14. Just started the 4th quarter. Still a lot of football to play. So Susquehanna Township answers the Aaron Angelo 77-yard touchdown reception to make it a one-score game, and Township comes right back and makes it a two-score game again. Ramsey will kick it off with the Good Feet Store kickoff. Here with 11:09 to go, fourth quarter. Kicks this one to Angelo. Angelo with a decent return, and that's where the Panthers will have the football, and their offense needs to find a way to get back on the board. Here's our remarkable home buyers scoring summary. 10 plays, 85 yards, 5:31 off the clock. Evans with a 3-yard touchdown for his third rushing touchdown of the season for the lefty quarterback. The junior makes it 28-14, your remarkable home buyers scoring summary. Let's see if the Panthers can continue what they had going with the short pass in game and let their playmakers, guys like Everett and Angelo, do the rest with the run after catch. 1st and 10 for the Panthers. Barlip at quarterback. Gossard straight ahead. Gossard gets 3 or 4 on the first down run. Riley made the stop for the Indians. Riley closed it in on 30 tackles for the junior. One thing that Coach Heaton talked about is he said his team has to be aware of trick plays. Against West Perry, the only game they lost this season, they got beat on a fake punt and also a screen on a 3rd and 15. So he made sure this week in practice they were aware of some trickery. They get the ball to Everett. Everett picks up a block and gets a couple of more yards.
Now that throw was definitely back.
Yeah, that was definitely backwards, yep. There's a perfect example of a backward pass. Brown made the stop.
Again, you see East Pennsboro perimeter blocking. Really good job on the perimeter. The receiver stalk blocking.
What Coach Heaton talked about when we talked to him at halftime, and what he said this week is the key for his defense to run to that ball. He wanted 3 or 4 hats on the ball all night. That's the key for the Susquehanna Township defense. This is a big 3rd down here for the Panthers, a 3rd and 2. They give it to Everett. Everett cuts to the outside. He has the first down. Going to be close. Singleton Brown. It's going to depend on the spot. Let's take a look here at the run by Everett.
Yeah, run again out perimeter jet sweep with Everett. He's close.
Very close. I think he's got it. And he does. First down run for Everett. So that's a play that gives you some space, right? A lead blocker and some space trying to get around the edge.
As long as they can get to the outside. There's been a couple times where, Susquehanna hasn't allowed it.
And that's the goal of the defense, to set the edge.
Correct.
So 1st and 10 after the Everett run. The Panthers need to answer again, get on the board and get a touchdown. You want a trick play? Here it comes. Everett throwing it downfield, and there's a pass interference call. We just talked about the possibility of a trick play, and they come up with it, trying to get the ball down to Colton Keys, the sophomore, and Brown was called for the interference.
Pass interference. Defense.
So number 5, Brown with the interference on the sophomore Keys, and we just talked about the possibility of the trick plays and how Susquehanna Township realized they had to be ready for this, and
great time to do it. 1st and 10.
Too bad it wasn't the NFL a spot foul. You'd have the ball all the way down.
Yeah.
Only 15 yards.
Pass interference. Defense. First down.
So there was the trick play that Coach Heaton was worried about. He said his team's in that West Perry game, the only game they lost this season, they struggled with a couple of trick plays.
Well, they also set it up really nice too with the jet sweep look with Everett. He's an athlete.
So the Indians now have the Panthers in their territory, but Brune is tackled for a loss there, was hit behind the line of scrimmage. Nigeti.
Nigeti did a heck of a job here. Watch him fight through multiple blocks to make this play.
Nigeti's had a big game tonight. Josh Nigeti, number 6, the 6'3", 185-pound junior linebacker who was backup quarterback as a sophomore and then moved to safety and has found a home and has really contributed this year. He has 49 tackles this season for Josh Nigeti. There's Barlup, the junior quarterback. He knows his Panthers need a play here. 2nd and 14 after they lost 4 yards on that Nigeti tackle for a loss. Angelo with the football, looking for running room. Stiff arm, spin down at the 49-yard line. Couldn't get free.
They're going in the wrong direction here.
Martin was there to bring him down.
Susquehanna Township's doing a nice job containing the perimeter.
Martin brought him down with one hand. So now Coach Deniston and his staff looking to dial up a 3rd and long.
Setting the edge. Defensive ends and outside backers doing a nice job not letting East Pennsboro get to the outside. Back-to-back plays here.
So 3rd and 17. Look at all the wide receivers up at the top of your screen. There's what, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 of them up there. They get the ball to Angelo, and Township is not fooled. Another tackle for a loss. Mason Leupold, our scholar athlete, comes up with the big play.
Tackle for loss, number 62, Mason Leupold on the tackle.
There's a cramp by one of the Panthers. So, coming up next week, back to the Mid-Penn Commonwealth. The last time we saw Bishop McDevitt, they were in an instant classic, the overtime loss to Harrisburg. And we'll be back to Rocco Ortenzio Stadium. McDevitt hasn't lost since week 2. They're on a roll. They'll take on the Central Dauphin Rams. We'll see Stone Saunders, the all-time leading touchdown pass leader in the state's history. Just last week surpassed Alex Irby, who had the record from Steel High last year, and Stone Saunders was able to surpass that. So we'll see him. It's Central Dauphin and Bishop McDevitt for week number 8 of Wellspan Urgent Orthopedics Friday Night Rivals. Aaron Angelo is on the sidelines, had a cramp. He has the 77-yard touchdown. He has over 100 yards receiving, 6 catches, 108 yards, and that 77-yard touchdown for East Pennsboro.
He's been busy.
He has been.
He's been playing, contributing a lot on defense. He's been punting.
Well, you can tell who the 3 playmakers are for East Pennsboro with J.J. Gossard, who was our spotlight player, then Aaron Angelo, and then number 1, Everett. Yep. Those are the 3 players that have been getting the most touches and most opportunities. So here's the punt, and you punt it to Lex Cyrus. That's dangerous. Cyrus pushes a blocker in front and then turns on the Jets. He's out of bounds. Lex Cyrus wanted to go to the house for a score, but he was knocked out of bounds. Take a look at this play. One person you do not want to kick the ball to is Lex Cyrus. And watch Lex Cyrus go. Pushes his blocker there, and did he step out? I don't see it.
I didn't see it either. But I'm wondering if it...
I don't see it.
I didn't see the penalty either.
He stayed in bounds. That might have been took away the second special teams touchdown that Cyrus had. He had a opening season week 1 kickoff return for a score, but then there was a block in the back. So that would have canceled it anyway if he stepped out of bounds or not. So block in the back call on Lex Cyrus, the most electrifying player. And Coach Heaton just shaking his head on the sidelines. He said, we almost got another one. Lex Cyrus, the streak goes 15 or more years that Susquehanna Township every year has had a special teams return for a score, either a punt or a kickoff. Evans gets rid of it quick to Kearns. Kern on the run. Gets out of bounds. Everett got him out of bounds. Enough for a first down, a 15-yard pickup close to midfield on the Evans to Kern pass.
So they get a nice job by Kearns here. And, you know, even better job by Susquehanna Township. You know, Darian Brown on the perimeter blocking there.
.7:05 to go fourth quarter.
I would imagine they were just going to utilize the clock and hand the ball off.
Stay tuned for the United States Marine Catch of the Game, as well as the Friday Night Rivals Trophy presentation. It's all coming up. Rivera straight up the middle. Rivera has 10 yards and a first down. Everett made the stop.
Big hole right there on the left side. They've been having a lot of success on that left side of the line tonight.
Yeah, I think Susquehanna Township, this is the size of their line on both offense and defenses, wore down East Pennsboro a little bit tonight. Kitchen saver first down run by Rivera. A 1-2 punch for the running backs. Seville and Rivera. It's always great to have two running backs.
And both are juniors.
Yep.
Yeah, when you can, because you just 1-2 punch. Keep alternating them, keep them fresh.
And then you have a big offensive line that has a couple of 300-pounders on it. You know, they average about 280 pounds each lineman. That's big for high school. First and 10 for Evans. Evans the throw, quick hitter to Lex Cyrus, nearly loses his footing and falls forward to the 40-yard line as Everett was in on coverage. Time now for our play of the game, sponsored by PA Beef Council. Beef, it's what's for dinner. And here is our play of the game, the great run by Seville. One of two rushing touchdowns tonight for Seville. Two's been good. That is our Beef, it's what's for dinner, play of the game. There's a look at him on the sidelines as he's watching his running mate Rivera out on the field now. But two's been good tonight. Over 100 yards rushing, or close to it, with 2 touchdowns. Definitely the two combined well over 100 yards running the football. Second and 10 for Evans. The lefty will fire, hits Cyrus. Cyrus follows a block, and down the sidelines he goes. And Cyrus has enough for a first down. Everett again there on the coverage to get him out of bounds. That's all you need. When you have a guy with that speed, get him the ball and have him do something.
Well, and that's the thing, too, you're starting to see is East Pennsboro starting to, you know, load the box up a little bit more to try and, you know, emphasize stopping the run. And now, you know, Susquehanna Township's taking advantage of the perimeter with a guy like Lex Cyrus.
I think that's a play that they scored on last week against Middletown. That pass to Cyrus and then Leaks blocking for him led to a touchdown. Here's Rivera running, breaking a tackle, then bouncing to the outside. Rivera stops and then turns the other way. Wow, spinning. This is backyard football stuff for Rivera, who wouldn't go down. Dasalakis finally was the one that stopped him. What an interesting run by Rivera. That's the best I could say is interesting.
Patient. Very extremely patient, almost.
I mean, he literally stopped.
Yes.
Right? He literally stopped running and then switched directions. It's a kitchen saver first down to the 16-yard line. Rivera, that's his 11th carry. Cervelle, 15 carries, 117 yards and 2 touchdowns. Cyrus now 5 catches, 59 yards. The offensive stars for the Indians, who are looking to try to go up 3 scores, up 28-14 and threatening. Back inside the Keystone Fireplace red zone. There was some movement up front. It's going to be on Susquehanna Township, false start.
Still first down.
So Chris, have you coached many lefty quarterbacks?
No. I've worked with a few.
And when you have a lefty quarterback, does that change your approach with the offensive line? Like, is your part of, I mean, Coach talked about having Mack at the right tackle spot to help the lefty quarterback.
Yeah, I think obviously with any quarterback, whether he's a lefty or righty, you want to protect his blind side. You know, that's important for any coach. You know, but it's a little different when you got a lefty, you know, and the way he drops and the way the ball comes out of his hand. But you know, his elusiveness also it makes him a little different and special too.
How about the mist that's coming up on the field here now, giving us a pretty neat look. Firing towards the end zone and a touchdown. What a strike. The touchdown to James Colston. And that is his 2nd touchdown of the season for Colston, and Evans' 18th touchdown pass of the season. He fired a strike.
Yeah, he did a really nice job of looking the safety off too and then coming back. Nice vet move.
There's a look at your Faulkner Honda touchdown. Everett to James Colston. Colston's 2nd receiving touchdown of the season for the senior, and Evans now 18 touchdown passes. Ramsey with the extra point. Whistle blows before the kick.
79, kicking team.
No penalty will move him back 5 yards, and Ramsey will try the extra point again. So East Pennsboro was able to get it to 21-14 and just couldn't get it any closer. Led the game 7-0 with their opening drive. They went for 12 plays and they scored first. Ramsey, the extra point is up and good, and the Indians increase their lead. The fog is setting in on homecoming. The Panthers are having some trouble in the fog with the Indians. Good feet store kickoff as the Indians lead it 35-14. Ball taken from the 10 by Everett. Everett breaks a tackle. Everett has some room. Everett has a straight arm. Everett has one man to beat. Everett down the sidelines he goes, and in the house for the score.
Wow, and just like that.
Everett, and down he goes after that run.
Cramping.
A cramp, and what a run. 90-yard kickoff return for a score by Everett. So
just when you thought it was over.
They're back in it. They just won't go away. Everett takes it from the 10, burst up the middle, and then watch him on the sidelines. Watch him stay inbounds. And down he goes into the end zone for the score. A Faulkner Honda touchdown, a 90-yard kickoff return for a score. And this is a kid that did not play the last 2 years. He concentrated on basketball. Boy, is football folks glad to have him back playing.
Yeah, he's done a nice job tonight. Really nice job. I would gotta think he's got to be a pretty good basketball player too.
Yeah, scored 1,000 points in his junior year, so he has a senior campaign to come up, but he might be thinking football.
Maybe both.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That was an outstanding kickoff return of 90 yards. Spectacular. 3:21 to go here in the fourth quarter, and the Panthers still have some life. That is extra point is up and good. And it's 35-21. Let's take a look at a remarkable home buyer scoring summary. We have two of them to show you. First, we start with Susquehanna Township, 22-yard touchdown pass. Evans to James Colston, and then this, just a few seconds ago. It is Darrell Everett going 90 yards on the kickoff return for the score. Remarkable home buyers scoring summary. So 2 touchdowns in a matter of a couple of seconds here in the fourth quarter on Wellspan Urgent Orthopedics Friday Night Rivals. But it's still 35-21. So now an onside kick is needed.
Yeah, I would think you gotta go into the bag of tricks a little bit here. You know, you got nothing left to lose.
Alami will do the kickoff. The Good Feet Store kickoff. So Alami's kick, kicks it short, lays the hit, but the Indians were able to recover the onside kick. Nageti was the one that caught it. Number 6, Josh Nageti, the linebacker, good hands. We got the catch of the game brought to you by the United States Marines, a collective purpose and an effective mission. Here's our catch of the game tonight. And it is Aaron Angelo makes the catch and then run after catch. 77 yards for the score. And that is our catch of the night, brought to you by the United States Marines, a collective purpose, an effective mission. And that play was very effective. Run after catch, 77 yards for the score for Aaron Angelo. 3:21 to go, 35-21's our score. The Indians with the lead in the football. Cervell up the middle to midfield. And there's a timeout on the field. East Pennsboro calls the timeout. Their first timeout of the first half, so they have 2 remaining. Don't forget tomorrow, college football at noon. The hunt for the Commander-in-Chief Trophy, the first leg of it anyway, Navy and Air Force at noon, and then Big Ten football's on CBS 21, the new home of the 3:30 Big Ten battle, Iowa and number 3, Ohio State. NFL on Sunday starts with the NFL Today at noon, and then it's the Ravens who will look for their 3rd win of the season as they take on the 1-3 Bengals. Derrick Henry all of a sudden has got his running game and his legs going for the Ravens. And the Green Bay Packers will play the LA Rams. Packers 2-2 on the season, the Rams 1-3. See if Jordan Love can get things going for the Pack. With 3:14 to go. The Indians just want to hold on to the football and get out of here with a victory to end East Pennsboro's 4-game win streak. As the Indians will try to win their 3rd in a row. Cervell breaks a tackle and picks up 13 yards and another kitchen saver first down. Cervell is tough to tackle.
Yeah, Both of them, Rivera and Savell, have done an outstanding job of breaking tackles.
Dasilakis made the stop.
They keep getting first downs, and there's nothing less, even with the couple timeouts, there's not much they can do.
Yeah, 3 timeouts for Township, 2 for East Pennsboro. Susquehanna Township going to have their 6th win of the season, their 3rd in a row. Big Spring, Trinity, and Milton Hershey to finish out the year for the Indians. East Pennsboro's 4-game win streak is going to be snapped. We'll be 4-3 on the season at Middletown next week, then James Buchanan, and they finish the season against Big Spring. So that's what's left for both of these teams. So 1st and 10 for the Indians. They're trying to run out the clock and keep their chances of winning the Mid-Penn Colonial possible. Savell drags a tackler for 3 or 4 yards. Township has a chance to do something they haven't done, Chris, since 2015. That's win a division title. That year, the Indians, they won 10-4, and they shared the Keystone division. They were in the Keystone that year. They shared the title with Bishop McDevitt. So it hasn't been since 2015 that Coach Heaton team has won a division title. This could be the year for them.
Could be, and they're poised to make a run for it next year, too.
Might come down to the Week 9 game at Trinity. Trinity's top of the standings in the Colonial at 5-1 overall and 4-0 in league play. Trinity tonight is at home taking on a 1-5 Boiling Springs team. So the Indians just trying to run out the clock. 3rd down coming up. Seville with the short run. Gossert made the stop, and there's a timeout with 1:28 to go. East Pennsboro down to just 1 timeout left. There is Coach Heaton. He also played at Bloomsburg University.
Yes, he did.
Played at Bishop McDevitt, then went on to play at Bloomsburg. They just had last weekend, I think, or the week before, honored Coach Hale.
Yep, last weekend.
Yeah, great.
NCAA Hall of Fame.
Yep, great job by Coach Hale in his years at Bloomsburg University. So much success. Took him to a national title game.
Yep, I was a part of that team. That was an awesome year.
Division II football.
You know, there still is not a PSAC school that's won a national championship. We thought we were going to be the first back in 2000. Now, there's been a bunch that have played
there, yes,
for the national championship, but nobody from the PSAC has won it yet.
So 3rd down coming up for the Indians. Seville over 100 yards rushing, 2 touchdowns. He's been the offensive star tonight for the Indians. And that is Rivera, who slips down in the backfield. Of course, the junior quarterback's been pretty good, too. He has a rushing touchdown and a passing touchdown. So East Penn uses their final timeout. Coach Dennison in his 5th season.
For the Indians.
Coach played his high school football at Trinity. And then played his college football in Pittsburgh at Duquesne. A lot of people felt, the fact that East Pennsboro was able to win 4 in a row with all the graduates that they lost from last year's Colonial League championship team. Done a really good job, and to win that game last week, to beat West Perry, at West Perry, a place where West Perry doesn't lose many games at home. For East Penn to go and beat them last week 35-14, that was a big win. Certainly East Pennsboro had some opportunities here tonight, but too many mistakes, penalties, turnovers. Really hard to win games when you have those things happen.
And costly turnovers, you know, the blotched punt, you know, inside the 10-yard line like that.
So Susquehanna Township calls timeout. We also have our player of the game to announce, powered by Milk. That'll be coming up. I think it might be obvious who the player of the game is. Running back for the Indians, Serville, or maybe Evans. You'll have to wait and see who our player of the game is.
On October 25th, that will be our breakout. I'm so excited for that.
Serville, 19 carries, 135 yards, 2 touchdowns. Rivera, 12 carries, 50 yards. Evans, 16 of 23, 158 yards, a touchdown and an interception. Cyrus, 6 catches, 71 yards. Colston, 2 catches, 41 yards, and a touchdown. And they go for it, and incomplete on the 4th down. Colston is the intended receiver, and turnover on downs. So East Pennsboro will have the football back with 1:17 to go in the game, down 35-21. East Pennsboro penalties tonight. They've had the 2 turnovers and then penalties that we talked about, 6 for 45 yards. And as you mentioned, Chris, they were untimely. Happened at bad times. Incomplete pass. Was looking for Keys and incomplete. Coach Dennison talking to him. He's very high on Colton Keys, the sophomore. Believes that he is going to be a big-time player in the next 2 years for East Pennsboro. Pass complete. Ingram makes the catch, the junior. Ingram goes up and makes the grab. Just a 3-yard pickup on the short pass play. Barlup's pass, fires far sideline, and the ball is caught by Angelo. Angelo makes a man miss and then has the first down. Great 2nd and 3rd effort by Aaron Angelo.
Wow, just won't go down.
Kitchen saver, first down. Looked like he was going to be tackled for just a short gain and then breaks that tackle right there and then breaks another tackle. So breaks 2 tackles and gets enough for the first down. Ball is batted down by Mack. Mack was able to knock it down. Barlup's pass. Final 43 seconds of this game, 2nd and 10. So the 4-game win streak snapped here tonight for East Pennsboro. Susquehanna Township finds themselves on a 3-game win streak. Their only loss of the season was a few weeks ago when they lost at West Perry, 31-14. 2nd and 10 for the Indians. Panthers, excuse me, from the gun, and the ball is incomplete. So Barlap's pass incomplete. 3rd and 10 coming up now for East Pennsboro with 38 seconds to go. Next week we'll be back in the Mid-Penn Commonwealth at Rocco Ortenzio Stadium for Bishop McDevitt and Central Dolphin. 3 wideouts bottom of your screen. Get the ball to J.J. Gossard, but incomplete coming out of the backfield. So we'll see if the Panthers can bounce back next week. They're at Middletown. Then they won't be home. They'll finish the season at home in 2 weeks, week 10 against Big Spring. Ball at the 45-yard line. Panthers in Indians territory. Far sideline. We have the catch. He did. Good catch by Aaron Angelo. Angelo, the highlight tonight for him was that 77-yard touchdown that he had. But he's been all over the place, both offensively and defensively.
Yeah, he does a great job there of keeping his feet in bounds and tracking the ball well. It was a nice throw, too, by Burlap, putting it on his back shoulder like that.
Well, 30 seconds to go in the game. Township calls timeout. They have one left here as East Pennsboro is out of timeouts. We'll have our player of the game and the championship trophy presentation coming up. The Wellspan Urgent Orthopedics Friday Night Rivals. Well, we had James Franklin here tonight, Penn State's football coach. He has shown up and left, getting ready for his game tomorrow at noon against UCLA. Big win for Penn State last week. They needed that whiteout type energy and took care of Illinois by 2 touchdowns. That game was a dogfight, though. It was a tight game until the second half. Illinois, they came to play a week ago at Happy Valley. So first down for the Panthers. Barlup from the gun, scans the field, getting out of the backfield is Gossert. Gossert is tackled by Martin. Clock runs. East Pennsboro would like to put some points on the board before the end of this game, and the ball is a little high to Keys and unable to bring it in. Now 10 seconds left.
With 10 seconds left on the clock.
So Susquehanna Township will go to 4-1 in conference play and 6-1 overall. East Pennsboro will fall to 4-3 overall and 4-2 in conference play after this Week 7 matchup. Barlup throws center of the field, has a man, and a Panthers touchdown. Aaron Angelo with his second touchdown of the night has a 77-yarder, and then Barlup with his second touchdown pass. He has 10 touchdown passes on the season, does Barlup now. That was a pretty well thrown ball.
Yes, right on the money. Angelo coming across on a dig route, and then gets into the end zone.
So
3 seconds.
Yeah, Angelo with 2 touchdowns tonight, over 100 yards receiving. He's had himself a night, both on offense and defense. Here comes the extra point as the Panthers get a touchdown with 3 seconds to go. And it's 35-28. Susquehanna Township over East Pennsboro. Let's take a look at our player of the game, powered by Milk and the Allied Milk producers. Our player of the game, number 2. He's been good, hard to stop. Cervelle with 2 rushing touchdowns, over 100 yards rushing, and just really hard to bring down. So there's your player of the game, powered by Milk. You were impressed by Cervelle.
Yeah, very impressed. Very twitchy, shifty. Good speed. Yeah, he's going to be a nice college football player.
His numbers: 19 carries, 135 yards, 2 touchdowns for the junior. 35-28 is our score with just 3 seconds to go.
During the kick, we did have encroachment on the defense that has declined. Score's good.
Okay, so we'll have one kickoff to end this football game. And Susquehanna Township now 4-1 in conference play. Very much the possibility of winning their first division title since 2015 with a big game with Trinity coming up in 2 weeks in week number 9. That game will be at Trinity. Trinity yet to lose a game in Colonial League play. We'll see Trinity in week number 10 on Friday Night Rivals against Middletown. There's the onside kick, and it's recovered by the Indians.
That should do it. I would think Susquehanna Township's going to take a knee and.
Yep. Be on out of here with the victory, snapping the 4-game win streak by East Pennsboro.
Impressed, though, with East Pennsboro not giving up, fighting until the end.
Here's the final play of this very long game tonight that is now over. Susquehanna Township gets the win, 35-28 over East Pennsboro. Susquehanna Township now 6-1 on the season. We'll wrap it up when we get back. You are watching Wellspan Urgent Orthopedics Friday Night Rivals. Susquehanna Township gets this big win in the Mid-Penn Colonial, a key game. They win at 35-28 to keep their chances alive for a division title. CBS 21 would like to take a moment to thank Wellspan Urgent Orthopedics, who made these games possible for viewers at home. We thank them for supporting these fine athletes and all the sponsors there on your screen. Without them, we wouldn't be able to show you high school football for 10 seasons now on Friday Night Rivals on MyTV Central PA. We'd also like to thank Susquehanna Township and East Pennsboro teams, athletic directors, coaches, and administrations, and athletes for their help. To watch this game anytime, anywhere, along with our Friday Night Rivals schedule and more content, you can go to CBS21.com and watch on YouTube on the CBS 21 YouTube channel. Friday Night Rivals is a production of the Sports Fever Television Network. Kevin Huddy's our spotter. We'd also like to thank Matt Bukovich for stats, and my partner Chris Thompson and the entire Friday Night Rivals production crew. I'm Phil Shaner saying good night. To see you, we'll see you next week. We'll be at Rocco Hortensio Stadium for Bishop McDevitt and Central Dolphin. That is Friday Night Rivals for tonight. Susquehanna Township wins it 35-28.